I heard once, I'm not sure where I got it from, but I heard this. Sin takes you farther than you want to go, keeps you longer than you want to stay, charge you more than you want to pay. And so that's how it is. And addiction is always pulls you and takes you longer, keeps you longer. And that's how it is.
It costs you more.
It costs you more.
We're talking with Pastor Teddy Kelemwrok. He is president and founder of Zadok University and Theological Seminary. Zadok, by the way, is a nonprofit distance learning institution. Tell us just a little bit about that.
Sure. Zadok University started about 2007. And the reason Zadok started is it was a long time ago when I was in Bible school. I have a burden for Latino people, Spanish speaking, and also Africa. And so I was dealing with the Lord what to do. And I didn't want to go just preach on crusades and just make everybody happy and leave them. So I began to deal with the Lord. What can I do in this area? And so the Lord spoke to me to establish a Christian university that has a threefold mission: biblical study, business education, and health education. And by reaching out to third world country, the Spanish-speaking nations in Africa, and the U.S. here. So with that burden, it started in 2007. It is still very small, and we are nonprofit organizations. We are there for the ministry purpose, and we've been. We just had about a year ago. We had 4 people graduated from our school in Christian counseling with collaboration with American Association of Christian Counseling program, and we work with Vision International University and American Association of Christian Counselors. And we put courses together. And
it's all online. It's all distance.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Now, how can folks find out more about that? Should they go to My University?
Yes, myuniversity.us to find out about Zadok University.
myuniversity.us. Folks, if you want to find out more about this book itself we're talking about, you can go to motivationaltoday.com, motivationaltoday.com, and you'll find that and more information about Teddy's work. Again, the book itself is called Media Maniac: The Effects of Media Violence on Children. And as he said, it could be a good primer and a good handbook for parents and for older teens themselves, I would think, who could benefit from reading from this.
Sure.
Tell us what you're going to be doing as you leave here, because as we're having this interview, you're on your way literally within hours to Ethiopia. What do you be doing there?
That is correct. As I said earlier, what really initiated me to write this book is what I saw in Ethiopia. And I know this problem has been here, and I think there are so many, people in here try to work on this area. But I found out and seeing in the third world country, Ethiopia, they are feeling they're becoming westernized, and they began to consume a lot of videos and such a thing. And it's just, I heard very disturbing stories. And one of when I was sharing somebody there, he was telling me a 14 years old, actually 15-year-old girl, about 5 guys sexually acting with her like a nighttime in the street of Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. And when the guy walked in and asked the girl what happened, the girl told him, "Oh, somebody is holding a knife against me. That's why I'm doing this." And the kids flee away from her. And the next day, he found the 2 kids that were involved in this. And then he found them and he chased them and said, "Please tell me, why did you do this to her?" And their answer was, "She's just like that." "What do you mean she's just like that?" And they told him it was about a year ago when she was 14 years old, 3 of the boys and her hanging around in the street. And they decided they wanted to watch a movie, and they end up having a pornographic movie. And they saw one woman acting with so many guys, and they said, "Why don't we try this?" And they end up trying it. And this girl, since then, she's been doing this. And really, especially people who know about Ethiopians usually are very much quiet and cover a lot of things. And so my understanding, there are so many covered things like this in Ethiopia because we consider everything taboo. And so there are so many things happening in Ethiopia in this area. So my reason of writing this book also to try to challenge the government to come up with a law. And at least in here in this country, we have the law called the Motion Picture Association that they put on ratings. But those ratings don't work once they cross the sea, because most of the videos they don't even have the ratings, the copyright not respected. So kids end up getting those things. So what I'm trying to do there, going to Ethiopia, trying to get the government to come up with a law so that every movies and video games must have the original ratings on them. And then addition to that, to educate the parents what the ratings are. and try to keep their kids away from this.
Of course, there's much more to the book. I'll just ask you one more question before we have to let you go. And that is not only visual stimulation, of course, and what we read, but even what we hear in terms of music. That's a phenomenal area as well of influence in a kid's life too, isn't it?
Yes, actually music is the number one influence because we understand music is the best way to learn things. And that's why we teach our kids ABC in the music. That's why we teach them everything in music, because it is your brain easily to memorize it when it's in music. So that's the biggest problem I see, because a lot of kids are listening to music repeatedly again and again that is full of violence. And talking about somebody, it's okay, I'm a drug addict, I sell drug, I'm a drug dealer, but it's okay. I'm singing about it, I have everything I need, and it's giving them an image, you can live life like the way I live. And so that pushes kids, and I mean, most of the drive-by shooting, they don't go quietly. They go listening to a music that get their system arise to the occasion. So music has a huge role, especially in teenagers' life, because they don't feel accepted if they don't listen to certain type of music. So they gotta go with the flow type of things, and they end up having this so much. And I also say it in the book, if it's not in you, it won't come out of you. So it's really what comes out of a person is really what's in there. So there are so many things stored. If you take time to listen to music 10 hours a day and fill yourself with such a thing, and there is no other good that's going to come out. And, there are people telling me like, I can eat any food I want, but, nothing is not going to affect me. It doesn't make sense. You eat fast food every day, it's going to show up in your body. It's the same way. So what you're letting inside of you is going to show up in action. That's what music is all about too.
Does this book offer parents and others constructive ways in which to begin to combat this whole phenomenon in our culture?
Sure. It gives it's not giving a lot of brand new ideas, but it's just putting together the ideas of what's already out there and to try to educate them on what to do about this.
It's called Media Maniac, The Effects of Media Violence on Children, just off the press. And the author is Pastor Teddy Kelemwrok, served for a number of years as youth pastor at the International Ethiopian Evangelical Church here in Washington. And again, the book is Media Maniac, and you can get a copy of it by going to his website, motivationaltoday.com. Pastor Teddy, God bless you, my friend. Thank you for coming by, and may the Lord give you safe travel and great success in Ethiopia.
It's a great honor to have a time with you, Don. Thank you.
Media Maniac, The Effects of Media Violence on Children. The author, Pastor Teddy Kelemwrok, and we'll be back in a moment here on The Don Kroah Show.